Hello friends, let's make some pasta. Okay, this is our deluxe mixer. I'm gonna go by my pasta recipe that I've used for over 10 years that I know works. Not to say that the one that comes with our new surprise doesn't work, but I know this one and I like this one. So we put the paddle on our mixer. I've got 4 eggs. I beat them up a little bit. We're gonna pour them into our mixer. Okay, we're gonna put a tablespoon of olive oil in there. Let's get that in. Okay, we're gonna mix this up. Let me see here. And, I'm sorry, about 4 tablespoons, right? Add a couple tablespoons of water to this. Okay, 1, 2, and we can always add more later if we need it. Okay, we're going to put this down in there. Lock it in place. I'm gonna put our shield on just in case. And it says to beat this just until mixed. So, turn it on. Okay, let's see here. Mix. Well, mix or beat? We're gonna use beat. Okay. We're just gonna do it for a couple seconds. We don't need it mixed that long, just to, there we go, 30 seconds. So it's gonna start, it's gonna mix it up. All right, then we're gonna shut this off and change it out and put our dough hook on and add our flour. So I like to use, for my pasta, semolina flour, okay? You can use 00, you can even use all-purpose, but I just find that the semolina has a nice light texture and it's easier to knead, but again, use whatever you like. Once we put the dough hook on, okay, let's take this off. Once we put the dough hook on, we're gonna gradually add our flour. Now the flour is 3½ cups and ½ teaspoon of salt. So I've already put that together and I sifted it. I just used my little sifter here. You can use anything you like. And that just gets any of the lumps out, makes it a little lighter, fluffier. Okay, so we're gonna take this off, shake it out, put it in our sink. All right, then we're going to put our dough hook on. And you can, if you don't have a mixer, you can do this step by hand. It just is a little bit harder, okay? And it says here, put the dough hook on in the shield, turn the mixer to 2, and gradually add the flour salt mixture. And let the hook knead the dough for about 2 minutes, okay? So we're going to close this up. Okay, I changed the pan, something with a lip, so it's a little bit easier to get in here. Okay, this is to gradually add in our flour. Again, I'm using semolina flour. You can use anything you like. You can even do half and half. Semolina, half all-purpose, 00. But again, I find that the semolina flour has a much nicer, softer taste to it. It's easier to knead. Okay. That's our goal, right? We want to make a nice light pasta, which is so different than a box pasta. Once you make your own pasta, you're not going to ever want to eat the box one again, I can tell you that. Let's see here. So we're going to knead this for 2. Now if your dough is looking dry, gradually you can add some water to the machine. And you want to do just like a teaspoon, tablespoon at a time because you do not want to make it too sticky. Okay. We might have to push it down so that the hook can get it, but it will form a dough, so no worries there. There it goes, come on. Has anyone ever made their own pasta before? I like to watch my parents do it. We've made fettuccine noodles, spaghetti for sauce or for soup. raviolis homemade. I am going to actually, for the first time, be making just sheets and making lasagna in our brand new long loaf pan. Look how nice and deep that is. So this is what my goal is today. All right, we're back. We've got some dough here. Let me see, get it in there. And all I'm gonna do now is just keep kneading it. If I need more water, I'll add it. It's very grainy right now. And you're just gonna keep pressing with the heel of your hand. Once it gets more pliable, you'll be able to bend it more. But I like to do it with my heel and then fold it over. And if it feels too sticky, add a little bit more flour, but you don't want to use too much flour because you're going to dry the dough out. And again, you don't want to use too much water because then it's going to be too sticky. So it's like a catch-22 here. Keep kneading it. I would say about 5 minutes or so. You should start feeling a softer texture, and then we will wrap it in saran wrap. There we go. So the directions that came with our new roller, yes, I said new roller, for our deluxe blender, excuse me, it's hard work for me. But we do finally have our new rollers for pasta making. You can make sheets, you can make fettuccine noodles, spaghetti, raviolis with the flat ones. So I'm going to be testing those out next, but the recipe that came with it was a little different than what I'm used to, so I'm going to stick with my tried and true recipe. You, by all means, can use the one on there if you're not used to making pasta. They've obviously tested it, so I'm sure it works fine. But I like the taste and feel of mine, and I know what it's supposed to look like. So we're going to use that one. And as you can see it's starting to get softer, but you still have these little cracks. We want to smooth everything out. And if this is too big of a ball for you to be working with, cut it in half and make two and knead two of them together. That's fine. Usually I have my husband do this part because he is much stronger than me. But we're trying to surprise him and make some lasagna today. So while this is in the fridge, I'm gonna be cooking up some sausage and mix up the ricotta. I have it draining right now in my refrigerator in a strainer, and then I will have everything prepared so when these sheets come out, I can put my lasagna together. Okay. And I don't know, I may bake it now and then just reheat it later. Not sure yet. Let's see. 2 more minutes, I'm thinking. It's a good stress reliever too. It's definitely getting softer. It smells good. So there's so many dishes that you can make with homemade pasta, and being that you can cook it so fast is a plus. So take some time to make it and freeze it. It freezes very nicely. And then as you need it, you can have dinner done in 10-15 minutes, depending on what you're putting on it or what you're making it with. Recently, I don't know if you saw my post, I made some basil pesto Alfredo, fettuccine Alfredo, and I used my homemade noodles for that. It literally, I think it took longer for the water to boil. I had dinner on the table 15-20 minutes, which was awesome. And it was a delicious meal. Okay. If it's feeling a little dry in some spots, a tiny bit of water. I like to have water on the side here. So you don't want to pour too much. You're just kind of sprinkling it over, keeping it moist. Okay. And I know the recipe that came with the rollers said once it comes out of the fridge to cut it in forts and roll it out. I don't know, I've never done it like that. I usually have this ball together and I'll cut slices, roll it, put it through my rollers, my pasta rollers, and be sure to have your pasta covered with either like a wet tea cloth or like a dampened paper towel so that it doesn't dry out while you're using the rollers to make the pasta. Okay. I'm thinking we're just about done. You want to roll it now because once it comes out of the fridge, you're not going to knead it anymore. You're going to more roll it just so you can get the shape you want to fit in the rollers. So this part is kind of important, and I didn't see any kneading on the recipe that came with the rollers. So I would suggest to do that. Any pasta making videos I've ever watched, they knead it, form it into a ball, wrap it and put it in the fridge for about a half hour. Okay. Let's just get that last. Just want to get it into a ball shape here. Probably needs a lot more, but I'm just not strong enough to do this. I got very weak hands. Okay. So all I did was I flattened it out and then folded it over. I'm just about done. So we will wrap this. I'll start prepping my other stuff so it's ready to go when I want to assemble my lasagna. And you can even freeze the lasagna after you bake it. That would be a nice thing to heat up later. I'm excited to try our new Brilliance bakeware set that is available August 1st. Okay, so that's it. Nice and soft. We're gonna take some, let me get some cellophane. Whew. All right, we're gonna wrap her up, put her in the fridge for about half an hour. Set that timer and we will be back. Look how easy that was. All right, we'll be back.